Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This morning we're making a slow cooker chicken and noodles. So these are the list of ingredients that you're gonna need. Now I'm not gonna run you through all of them right now. I'm just gonna run you through the main ingredients, which is 10 pounds of chicken breast, salt and pepper, 2 things of cream of chicken soup, and you're gonna need about 2 cups of chicken broth. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna place our chicken in our slow cooker. So now these chicken breasts are frozen. So you're just gonna have to be cautious. And I was able to, now these chicken breasts are frozen, but that's fine. We're just gonna cook them like this. Hopefully they'll be fine. Now remember, like I told you, hold on guys, I'm gonna try to get this fat off, okay? I got it, okay. The fat is what you don't want. So if you can, when your chicken's frozen like this, if it is, try to get the fat off because you don't want the fat in your chicken. In your final dish, I should say. Okay, you wanna try to get it off. What I'll do is I'll probably just go in with a knife. And here, babe. Where'd you spill it at? Right there? That's not what I'm doing for you. Where'd you spill it at, babe? Right here? That's not bad. Easy. There you go. You gotta be more careful, okay, babe? Okay guys, so where were we? Oh yeah. So you want to make sure that if it's frozen like this, and if you can, try to get the fat off, okay? So that's what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna try to cut this a little bit off. Cause you don't really want the fat in your dish. You don't really want the fat. If you can, just try to cut it off a little bit. Which I'm trying so hard to do. There it goes. Okay, so what we're gonna do, any fat, now if it's big pieces of fat, you just cut it off. Oops. Okay, alright, so back to what we're doing. We're gonna put this chicken in our slow cooker. Okay, now remember, it is frozen, so it's okay. We're just gonna cook it like this. Okay, I know it's all kind of weird and crooked, but that's fine. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is, because my hands are really like yucky with chicken stuff, I'm going to wash them. Now, a little tip for you guys is that when you wash your hands, you need to wash them in warm, soapy water. So I'm going to wash my hands, I'll come back, and then we'll add the rest of our ingredients in our slow cooker. So, this recipe is a very simple recipe. Now, if you guys don't know how to make this, guess what, guys? I'm showing you how to make this special recipe. It's so good. Now, I will tell you, I'll show you what we're gonna put in the crock pot. I'll show you that before we, say our goodbyes. So the next thing I'm gonna put in is salt and pepper. Now, you season your chicken really well with salt and pepper, because you want to make sure, and I'm going to get my hands dirty again anyway, because I want to make sure it's all over our chicken breast. So just kind of get in there with your hands. Don't be afraid to get your hands dirty, guys, because it's going to be fine. And luckily, guys, if your chicken kind of breaks apart like this, that's fine too, a little bit. Okay, you just want to get in there with your hands. And you kind of want to make sure that your chicken is well seasoned too. That's the most important thing. You want to make sure your chicken is well seasoned on both sides. Okay? And like I said, if it's breaking apart, it's fine. Because it's going to shred in the slow cooker anyway as it cooks all day. This is going to cook all day on low, so it's all going to be fine. Alright, I'm going to wash my hands one more time, and then we'll finally put the soup in. Okay. So, I know, and guys, I know this is kind of crazy that I'm washing my hands twice, but we wanted to make sure we get the salt and pepper all throughout the chicken. Okay, really important. Okay, so now finally we're gonna put our cream of chicken soup in. Now we're gonna use 2 cans of it. Now, I'm just gonna rinse out the cans when I'm done. I'm not gonna add any water to it because this chicken is frozen. There's no need to add any additional liquid to our crock pot, okay? It's totally fine if it doesn't smear all the way around because I'm gonna use 2 cans of it. And when I put the chicken broth in, it's gonna be so good. Now, you're probably asking, you're saying, well, what is the chicken broth for? I'll explain. The chicken broth is for our noodles. We need liquids, so that way we can cook our noodles later. Okay, so just throw it in. You wanna make sure you smear it right on top. So it's all over your chicken breast, okay? Really important that it's really well covered at this stage. Because you don't want to come back in like 8 hours and say, oh my gosh, my chicken's not completely covered with the soup, which it's gonna be. Okay, so try to get all that out of there. You want to make sure you're smearing it all the way around so it's completely covered. It's gonna be so good and yummy. Now, if you guys remember last weekend, I made a recipe with cream of chicken soup. You guys remember my chicken and rice video that we did last weekend? I made it with cream of chicken soup. Remember? We put cream of chicken soup in it. Okay, last ingredient, 2 cups of chicken broth. Going in. So what you want to do is, now remember guys, you do not want to, you want to pour it in your crock pot, but you don't want to pour it on top of your chicken, because then you'll just kind of mess up the soup territory. You don't want to do that, okay? So what we're going to do, it's very simple. You could either cook this, you have 2 options, right? You can either cook this on high for 3 to 4 hours or low, 6 to 8 hours. I'm gonna cook this on low just because, it'll be fine. Our chicken's frozen, it's okay. I'm gonna cook it on low for about 6 to 8 hours until the chicken's tender. I will come back and I will add, I said I'd show you guys, we're gonna add wide egg noodles, 30 minutes. We're gonna add them in later. So approximately 30 minutes before we serve, we're gonna add these noodles because they gotta cook in there for about 30 minutes until they're done. And then I'll show you. But what I'll do is I'll probably come back in about 8 hours and I'll shred my chicken and then I'll add these and then that'll be our video. So, that's all I'm gonna show you. And I think what I'm gonna serve it as a side is I think I'm gonna serve with some green beans. I have a big old can of green beans that I wanna use up, so I might make some green beans to go with it. Okay, so that's pretty much our video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this recipe. Before we say goodbye, let me put the lid on it, lock it, turn it on. We're gonna go up. Now you can cook this for 8 hours. We're gonna do that, and then I'm gonna select low. Actually, hold on, let me do that again, hold on. All right, let's do what we did last time. So we're gonna do 8 hours, manual, low. You want this to stay at 8 hours. Low for 8 hours. Low, done. Alright, so 8 hours on low until, what the heck? Hold on guys, I'm getting this all wrong. Hold on. 8 hours on low, done. Okay, alright guys, so we're gonna cook this for 8 hours on low. Wait. Do this again. Let's reset it so I don't see the time. Hold on, guys. Okay, try it. Oh, I'm playing around with this thing. I'm trying to get it to read. Hold on. Alright, guys. Hold on. Alright, guys. 8 hours.
Bugs!
On low.
You tricked me.
Until your chicken is nice and tender. And when we come back, oops.
You did.
Low, done. Alright, 8 hours on low until your chicken is nice and tender. And then we'll come back in 8 hours and we'll show you what our crock pot looks like. It's gonna be so yummy. And when I come back, I'll show you. Alright, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll be back in 8 hours. I'll shred my chicken. And that'll be our video. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this recipe. I'll be back later to show you what it looks like. Bye. Log on. Peace out. Boom. Okay. Bye, guys.